Here's what I didn't notice but has always been true, and my do my best to do a sort of very short intro to how I see how the mind works, is that all my life I had a lot of very strong emotions. I think some people say, oh, you're very sensitive, you're very emotional. I think I was always quite emotional as a person. I was very creative, but I didn't realize that my feelings were coming 100% from me. And a very poignant example of this for me is, so now I live in London, and you know, when circumstances are more normal, I go to work on the tube, or I'll be on the street. So I'm out on the street or on the tube a lot. And one of the things that I'll notice can really, really upset me, which is totally logical, is if you get somebody on the street who's aggressive or pushes or shouts at you, or gets on the tube to push past you, or sometimes even someone who's very drunk and angry might even shout at you. And I would get really upset by that and feel it in my body, like it was really, really, really like, oh my God, I'm kind of like, I feel abused and something terrible's happening. And I'd feel horrible for the rest of the day. I'd feel a bit shaky and a bit wobbly. And I thought that was because someone had done something to me, or even if somebody was rude in a shop, like sometimes they're in a really grumpy mood and they're like, well, what do you want then, or something. And I would just really take that to heart and feel horrible. But what I didn't realize when I look back is there's been hundreds of times that someone has pushed past or shoved or said something, and I haven't had the same upset. I've had someone shout or push or shove me, and my mind has been quieter. And so I've had, in a way, you know, distance from that, and been able to see that person was in a bad mood, or that they're struggling. Or I just would naturally feel for them rather than feel like you just abused me. And I didn't see the pattern. So I made up I was a very certain kind of person, that, you know, that was very hard. And so I'd feel bad for the whole day until I realized, oh, I'm able to have more than one thought about somebody shouting at me on the street. And I think it's something I just didn't know, is that I have infinite thought about the same thing all the time if I let that happen. So it might be that you go out and it's really, really cold, and I can have the thought, oh, I hate it when it's cold. And other times when I'm not having that thought, I'll have another thought, say, God, the wind is amazing today. Gosh, look how like I'll have an entirely different thought about how cold and windy it is. And literally there isn't a part of my life where I can't have more than one thought about the same situation, which means that I am having thoughts and feelings and deciding whether to go with them. A bit like if you're in a shop and you're shopping and you're deciding, I want to buy a lumberjack shirt, and you go to someone that has loads of array. Well, when you're shopping, you don't pick the first one. You'll look until you find one that you really like and fits good and looks nice. But we thought we pick the first one, even if it's ugly and uncomfortable and overpriced, because we don't know that it's coming from the inside. And what's incredible is that your mind will give you endless thought about anything, and at some point you'll find the right lumberjack shirt for you that feels great.